Kijk, elke oggend bring ek en Leanne vir jou nuus om 6:00, 7:00 en 8:00 en dis so vir ons lekker om te doen, maar ons het 'n tydjie gevat om 'n draai te gaan maak by die mense wat dit in die koerantvorm doen elke dag.
Independent newspapers.
Exactly.
We wanted to know what goes on behind the scenes, you know, because that's also very important. So we sent our other presenter, Mpho, to go and see what happens behind the scenes and also find out what some of their most remarkable stories are. Check this out.
Independent newspapers publish more than 30 daily and weekly newspapers. We love getting the news hot off the press, so meet the editors at the helm of some of the most prominent publications.
INL The Star is one of the most sought-after papers in the country. Can you give us a little bit of background info on it?
It started in 1887, following the discovery of gold here in Joburg. The paper was at the time publishing in the Eastern Cape in Grahamstown. So they moved the printers using an ox wagon. When they got to Joburg, they settled at the corner of Pritchard and Sour Street. That's where we have been since. It's readers are concentrated mainly in the economic hub of the country, and yet it's a regional paper that has a national feel to it, of course, with a composite of world news, and each page gives you something to look at and marvel at.
What would you say are some of the biggest stories you've reported on?
We did quite a number of exclusives on the problems that we have in Limpopo, you know, the corruption and how the government almost collapsed. There's quite a number of pieces that we've put in that have set us apart and have won us awards in the process.
Meanwhile, the Angela Day team works very hard to bring the best recipes and cooking tips to the Star's readership. They are the stuff legends are made of.
Jenny, who, or rather what, is Angela Day?
Apparently, 46 years ago, there were ladies that worked in the library at the Star newspaper, and they used to get calls from readers with queries and wanting recipes and advice, and they were such wonderful people that they became known as the Angels of the Day. Eventually, the editor at the time decided to turn that into a column that appeared in the newspaper, and it's really been going for nearly 46 years. A lot of people say it's an urban legend, but it's our story and we're sticking to it.
The indispensable weekend read, the Saturday Star, has the hardest breaking news drawn from across the country. It's the biggest selling Saturday newspaper in South Africa.
What is a typical day at the office like?
Well, it depends on the day. We're a weekly paper, so on Mondays it seems quite quiet. That's our planning day. From Tuesdays and Wednesdays we start doing our think pieces, and from Thursday and Friday we go into news mode. I think it's really important in a weekly newspaper to give a good take of the week that's happened, as well as looking into the week ahead.
Top-flight writing, investigations and photography have won the Sunday Independent widespread critical acclaim. It's circulated nationally.
Jaffet, what kind of paper is the Sunday Independent and what makes it so unique?
We are a very small newspaper, but I think we compete very well with the other titles on any given Sunday. We are a political newspaper and we have a lot of analysis and opinions. I think that sets us apart from the rest of the people who publish on Sundays.
What are some of the most interesting stories you've reported on?
We were the first people to write extensively about the problems in crime intelligence. The whole Mdluli saga came, and it was the Sunday Independent that broke that story. We've been on top of all the political stories about who is going to lead the ANC. Last year was a very interesting year for us.
Pretoria News is the capital city's source of local news every weekday. Founded in 1898, it is one of the oldest newspapers in South Africa.
What are some of the most interesting stories you have reported on?
Any major historical event, like Nelson Mandela's release from prison, obviously was something that springs to mind. Here in Pretoria, we're really fortunate because all the inaugurations take place in Pretoria. Those are the kind of stories that we enjoy reporting on.
What are some of the highlights that readers can look forward to every week?
There are a lot of newspapers available. If you have a look at this pile on the table, every day there's plenty of choice for people reading newspapers, but what we have that's different is we have local content. So in addition to covering national stories and even international stories, we have a very strong focus on local stories. A newspaper is very important in terms of recording history, and the fact that we've been going for so many years is really something to be proud of.
There you have it. Job seekers, car enthusiasts, foodies and globetrotters. Whatever your passion, whatever you want to know, you'll find it all on these pages.
South African and international news, sports and lifestyle coverage, all on the pages of The Daily Star.